Hi everyone, my name is Chrissy and welcome to Panda's Amateur Kitchen where we cook amateurly. If you do like the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and to hit the bell if you do like the video and want to see more. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so for today's item, we will be making baked blueberry donuts. This is by Miss Kathryn on the website WornSlapOut. You can find her recipe on WornSlapOut.com. Please make sure to give her credit and to try any of the desserts she may have available. Okay, to get started, you're going to need a mixing bowl and a normal size bowl. You're going to need your baking pans. You can get these from Amazon for between $10 or $15. You're also going to need a rubber spatula. And you're going to need a pair of shears. You can also use regular scissors if you don't have kitchen shears. You're going to need some measuring cups, as well as measuring spoons, and a Ziploc bag. For our ingredients, we're going to need 1 egg, alright, so this is where I kind of messed up. We actually don't need the butter. We never used the butter at all. I don't know why I grabbed it. I guess because baking involves butter usually, I just decided, but you can just march on back to the kitchen and put that back in the fridge. So you're going to need 1/2 cup of buttermilk, yogurt, or sour cream, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So I did not include this, but you're also going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of table salt. For our glaze, you'll need 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. Please keep in mind you do not have to use cow's milk. You can use anything else like oat milk. From here, we're going to go ahead and set the oven to 350 to preheat. And we're going to move on to making our batter. So we're going to start out by putting our flour into the bowl. And then we're going to add a little bit of sweetness by adding some brown sugar in there. Always keep it sweet. Now we're going to go ahead and add our salt. And now let's add our baking powder so we get a rise out of our baked goods. So now we're just going to grab our little metal spatula and we're going to mix everything in, make sure all of our dried ingredients are really mixed in properly. I'm kind of doing something over there, but it's definitely mixing. I can guarantee you that. So we're just going to go ahead again and mix until it's all evenly mixed up and ready for the next step. So now that our dry ingredients are mixed up, we're going to go ahead and move the bowl and we're going to move on to our wet ingredients. So go ahead and grab yourself a second bowl, that second bowl you had, and you're going to pour in your buttermilk. Alrighty, so now we got an egg. We're going to go ahead and crack that wide open, put it into our bowl. And now we got a whisk, and we're going to whisk that sucker right up. Make sure everything is mixed in. Buttercream is like strangely thick. Not really as in strange, but it was strange to me because this is my first time using buttermilk. So yay for first time things. Okay, so now that our wet ingredients are mixed, we're going to grab our bowl with the dry ingredients, and we're going to take the bowl with the wet ingredients, and we're going to pour that into the bowl of dry ingredients. A lot of back and forth there. Okay, so once again, we're going to go ahead and take our rubber spatula, and we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Make sure everything is getting, combined together like really well. Make sure everything's getting mixed in. Make sure you don't have any dry parts, which is probably where I failed, because I definitely had a dry part in there, which you will see very soon. So stay tuned for that. So for some reason, the batter looked a little dry to me, so I did add just a tiny bit of more buttermilk. You don't have to if you don't want to, if it feels fine to you, but it felt a little bit dry to me, so I just decided to add a little bit more. And it came out really smooth. So I'm going to start mixing again in a second, but I did want to let you guys know, if you do have any suggestions or any requests on things you want me to bake or cook, I do try to do savory foods as well. Just go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer as many as I can. Okay, so I did forget this, but you are going to need 1 cup of blueberries, frozen blueberries that I used, but you can use fresh blueberries, but for me, I used frozen blueberries that I got from my local grocery store for $9. So go ahead and take your rubber spatula and fold in the blueberries into the batter, and try to get it really in there. Sometimes it's going to turn blue or purple because, blueberries. But yeah, just go ahead and fold them in. So this is where the plastic baggie kind of comes in hand. So you're going to open the baggie and you're going to place the batter into the bag. Just going to scoop it in there, or push it in there with your spatula. As you can see, I was like, oh my gosh, that's still sandy. Let me mix that in, as you can see. So yeah, I mixed that in, and then I continued to put more into the bag. You're gonna put all of it, scrape it out if you have to. We're not trying to waste any of the batter. And then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so the goal of this is to close the bag and cut it open at the corner so we can use it to pipe in the batter into the pan itself. As you see, it got a little messy, so I had to clean off the bag itself, because I think I spilled a little bit of the batter onto the bag. But again, the goal for this is for us to pipe the batter into the pan by cutting open the ends of it. So we're going to go ahead and get our donut pan, and we're going to grab some oil. Some people use Pan, but I prefer to use oil. And we're going to get a cap full, and we're going to put a little bit in each of them, one at a time. I think I had to put some more in the cap and pour it into the pan. I guess I didn't. So we're going to go ahead and take our paper towel, and we're going to spread around the oil in the pan. Some people do like to use the little brushes to do it. For me, it's just quicker to just use the paper towel to do it. Everyone has their preferences. So now we're going to take our baggie that has our batter in it and the shears and that container top that I had to the side, and we're going to use the shears to cut open the end of the plastic baggie. Honestly, my shears are trash and I should get new ones. Please make sure that you're keeping like sharp shears in your kitchen. Don't be like me, please. So now that the corner of the bag is cut open, we're going to bring all the batter to the front of where the cut is, and we're going to use it, and we're going to circle around the baking pan and fill it up with the batter, and we're going to do it for each one. So this recipe is supposed to make like 6 of them, but we didn't get 6. We got like 9. Maybe that was my fault. Maybe, I don't know. But overall, I had a great time making it. Okay, so now that our batter is in the pan, we're going to take the pan and kind of like slam it, I guess, against the table just to get like the air bubbles out and to make sure that the batter does settle down properly. And now we got our second pan. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the first pan to the second pan as well. Okay, so now it is time for us to put our donuts in the oven. Again, we're going to put it on 350 and we're going to put it on 22 minutes. Now, at this point, we can start on making our glaze for the donuts. So now we're going to go ahead and put in our confectioner sugar, also known as powdered sugar, I guess. That is a lot of dust, geez. Okay, so now we're going to put in our vanilla extract, at least, again, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we're going to put in 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk. Again, any milk that you want. And as much milk as you want, depending on the consistency that you want. But I put, I think, 2 or 3 in there, just to make sure. So now we're going to take a spoon and we're going to mix everything in. We're going to make sure everything is completely combined. For some reason, I was looking at my camera and I was looking at what I was mixing, and I was like, why is it so bright? And like, the light is not even on. This is natural light that we're looking at. This is not light from the tripod at all. It looks like I'm mixing some type of, like, I don't know, heavenly being or something. I'm concocting something that is definitely super bright. And I didn't know what to do about it. But at some point I do decide, you know what, you guys need to see what I'm actually mixing. So I decided to just zoom up just to see, just to, you know, make sure you guys are supposed to know what it's supposed to look like. Because I was like, they can't see anything. They need to be able to see this. Zoom on up, buddy. So it's been about 22 minutes and our donuts are done. So you just have to put them on the counter and leave them to cool for at least 10 minutes so you're able to get them out the pan properly. Here comes our second pan. So it's been about 10 minutes and I moved our donuts over to the cooling rack and I placed them on my dining room table. At this point we are preparing to glaze the donuts. We have to make sure they're completely cool, because if you don't leave them to cool, then if they're hot and you put the glaze on there, the glaze kind of just melts, and we kind of want to avoid that. So let's not do that. So as you can see, I attempted to kind of dip the donut in there, and then I kind of just decided against it and went like, you know what, let me just go get a spoon and I can just scoop it on there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a slight time lapse here just to make it go a little bit faster, because it did take me a little while to do this. If you all are interested in this recipe and really do like it, I did leave a description of, I did leave a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in checking her website out, please feel free to do so. Give her as much credit as you can, especially if you really like it. I do give these donuts like a good 10 out of 10. I really like them. Okay, so our donuts are now done. Just leave them to cool a little bit more with the glaze on them, and then they are perfectly ready to eat. Thank you so much for joining me on my very first YouTube video. Again, if you really like the content, just go ahead, like and subscribe, and comment any additional recipes or baked goods or savory foods that you think that might be a good idea to come on to the channel. Well, thank you so much for watching, and everyone have a great day.